Welcome along to the Caulfield RSL for the Essendon Richmond night with the Legends boys that we call the nice boys of footy. Put your hands together for them. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We've got a ripper show lined up for you. We've got two fine champions that are going to entertain you and grace you with their presence. So what do you reckon? We'll get straight into it? Yeah, let's do it. I just want to tell you, these are the only live and interactive footy panel show in Australia. We do these every Wednesday night. They go live out around Australia on Foxtel on the weekends and Thursday nights on C31. So hopefully you'll be watching this, well, now I suppose, because it's Thursday night. We like to think that these shows are the only shows that give you the opportunity to see the players in this format and they get to see you in the same format. All right? So there are a few different shows out there that do footy type stuff, but this is ours and that's what we're going to stick with. So we'll get right into it, all right? Our first panellist was born on the 16th of April 1978. He played for the Essendon Football Club from 1995 to 2009, where he played 270 games and he kicked 926 goals. He's a three-time Coleman medalist. He was his club's leading goal kicker an amazing 12 times. He was a five-time All-Australian and AFL Premiership player in 2000, Goal of the Year in 2007, Mark of the Year in 2008. That was that Goal of the Year, the little sneaky one behind the foot. He captained the club from 2006 to 2009. He is in the Australian Football Hall of Fame, where he wore the number 18 on his back. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Matthew Lloyd. Hey, Lloydie!
Our boys who play this grand old game are always striving for glory and fame.
Oh, what a champion. Gotta like that, don't you? Welcome, Essendon fans, and welcome, Matthew Lloyd. What do you reckon? Pretty cool. Welcome, Matthew. Nice to have you here, mate.
Thanks, Damien.
Nice to see you in Melbourne, actually, because it was only in Tassie a few weeks ago that we went down there and graced them with our beautiful, faces and our personalities, didn't we?
We did, but what a great setting here. Fireplace.
Yeah, isn't it cool? Yeah, nice little spot.
Very nice.
Let's get on with it, though. I want you to now put your hands together when this man walks his way through the crowd. He's our second panellist. He was born on the 19th of March in 1975. He hails from Devonport in Tasmania, which is a great little place because that's where I'm from as well. He played for the Richmond Football Club from 1993 to 2009, where he played 282 games and he kicked 800 goals. He was the club's leading goal kicker an amazing 13 times. He was inducted into the AFL Hall of Fame in 2014. He's a three-time All-Australian. He made the Tasmanian Team of the Century. He's a member of the Richmond Hall of Fame. When he played, he wore the number 12 on his back. Please welcome to the stage, Matthew Richardson. Richo.
We're from Tigerland, a fighting fury, we're from Tigerland.
Oh yeah, sing it loud.
In any weather you will see us with a grin, risking head and skin. If we're behind, then never mind, we'll fight and win forever.
Hey, check it out. Two of the nicest guys in football, you'd have to agree, wouldn't you? Matthew Lloyd, Matthew Richardson. Thanks, boys. Thanks for both of you to be here.
Pleasure. I just lived down the road in Elwood, so...
Yeah, got a nice little drop-off out the front.
Took me 2 minutes to get here. My missus dropped me off. I said, I'll see you at 9:30.
All right, let's not keep him over time because we want to get on with the show. Which reminds me, let's get straight into it. This is a segment that we call What About Me? There you go, boys. That'll bring back some memories, that song. You remember that from the 80s?
Who was that?
That was...
Little River Band or someone, was it?
No, Moving Pictures.
Moving Pictures.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, not bad. Hey, Matthew, if you don't mind, mate, can I start with you? I want to get straight into it with What About Me and talk about you. I wanted to find out from you, for these glorious people here. I grew up in...
Devonport, Tasmania.
Great part, eh?
Yeah.
I'm from there too.
Good spot.
We've got a nice little connection there. When I was growing up, I barracked for who?
Richmond.
Richmond,
yeah.
always
My old
Richmond.
man played for Richmond, so I didn't have much choice, really.
No. Your nickname is?
Oh, probably just Richo.
Just
normally.
Richo, yeah.
Or Ricky.
Yeah.
Richo or Ricky. The boys at Richmond used to call me Ricky.
Yeah. I like Nathan Brown doing the old Richo man. He loves that one, doesn't he?
You don't take Nathan Brown seriously at all, trust me. The man is an imbecile.
Your worst habit is?
Oh, probably biting my fingernails, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. We get that a lot
My
from
mum's
AFL
not happy with
footballers.
it.
No, she doesn't like it?
Mum always told me off for it, but
Okay.
can't stop.
No, get along with it. Your best feature is Matthew.
Are you serious?
You know what mine was 2 weeks ago?
What was that?
My Tom Cruise looks.
Lloydie's been running with this Tom Cruise thing for far too long. I reckon me big... actually, they used to get into my lips at the club. My big...
Oh, yeah?
I reckon I had lips like Curtly Ambrose. Remember Curtly Ambrose, the cricketer? But the missus doesn't mind him, don't worry about that.
Oh, that's for another show. Fantastic. I like that. All right, your favourite food is, Matthew?
Favourite food? I like Asian food.
Okay.
Vietnamese, probably.
Vietnamese, all right, beautiful. You love doing nothing more than?
Going and watching a band, live music.
Have you ever been here and seen a band?
haven't,
The
no.
Flying Saucer? Yeah?
No, I haven't.
Good venue to serve
Very
if you
good.
get the chance. The happiest you have ever been was?
Probably the day that I signed up with Richmond, I think, when I was 17.
All right, yeah.
I mean,
good
you're
answer.
only a kid and it was like your lifelong dream.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, all I wanted to do was play AFL footy. So when you actually realised it was going to happen,
Yeah.
well, you thought it was going to happen, it was a pretty good day, yeah.
Bloody awesome. Well done, mate. Yeah, I love it. Your favourite movie is?
Oh, gee. I like all the Guy Ritchie movies, like Lock, Stock and
yeah.
Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch. I like
Yep.
that. I like that British sort of comedy
Yeah,
more
right.
than American so much, yeah.
Yeah, good. One of the best memories you have is?
Didn't play in a lot of finals, but I remember beating Carlton on the MCG in a final in 2001. Was the arch enemy.
Yeah.
Pretty special, yeah. Lloydie played in a lot more finals, but that was special for me.
That was good
yeah.
for you. Yep, I get it. When you were growing up, you wanted to be?
I wanted to be an AFL player from as long as I can remember, I reckon.
How good's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. The most romantic thing you've ever done was?
Gee, my missus would say nothing, but I've got no idea, to be honest.
No? Nothing springs to mind?
Oh, I took Jen to Vue de Monde, the restaurant.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 Hat restaurant up the top of the Rialto there.
Yeah.
And the glass of wine and all that sort of stuff. And
Went down well?
yeah, it went down really well.
Beautiful.
Didn't
Well done.
Didn't do my wallet much good though.
We'll finish off with this for you there, Matthew. My first kiss was?
Oh, gee. It's a long time ago. No, it was out the back of the basketball stadium in Devonport with a girl called Megan Williams.
Oh, right.
And I was absolutely petrified.
Right.
Yeah, she said all her friends come and got me and said, right, it's time to go. And we went out the back of the basketball stadium there. Yeah. And they all stood around and watched and I kissed her. I kissed her, I was petrified, and then I ran straight back into the stadium to watch the basketball. It wasn't very memorable, put it that way.
Yeah, right, okay. Nice, thanks for sharing that, and hi to Megan, that was beautiful. Lloydie, I know we did this 2 weeks ago, but for the benefit of these individuals that are here right now, we'll have to do you. But I just wanted to, Matthew, I wanted to do this. We normally would do this a little bit differently, and Matthew Lloyd would be aware of that. But Matthew Richardson, the number one song on the day that you debuted was this.
I ain't gonna go my way.
Bit of Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember that song very well, obviously,
Right.
because I was 18 at the time, and we used to go out to a place. Some of you people might have been there. A place called the Tunnel Nightclub in Little Burke Street.
Yeah.
And I specifically remember being on the dance floor, and that song came on. So
Wow.
yeah, great song. Great song.
Very good song. So that was May 1993 when you
Wow.
obviously debuted.
Long time ago.
Yeah, so I changed it up because normally we'll do the year that you're born, but most people go, what relevance is that? So I wanted to change it up for you for that one. So yeah, good. So Matty, you grew up in?
Avondale Heights, so
Yep.
not far from here either, but around the Essendon area.
Yep. And when you were growing up, you barracks full?
Fitzroy. I was
Fitzroy.
a huge Bernie Quinlan fan.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Super boot. Yeah.
And I had a soft spot for the Blues because my dad played for them as well.
Of course, yes, yep. Your nickname is?
Well, it was always Lloydie, pretty boring, but in recent times it's become Lordo because Billy Brownless got tongue-tied and called me Lordo once and it stuck. And the other one is obviously the Velvet Sledgehammer for
Slammer,
Eddie Maguire started on the Footy Show.
That's the best one, I reckon. That's a great nickname.
It is. It's very good. It's
Eddie Maguire and Sam Newman both claim that they started it, so I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah, right. I'll have to check the tape on that one.
Can I ask Lloydie something quickly?
Yeah, of course you can.
How did you not barrack for Carlton with your old man playing there?
I can't believe it now because I've got my son, already who's 4, just crazy about the Bombers. But my dad mustn't have pushed it on us too much because I love Fitzroy. My brother Brad, who played 11 games for Hawthorn, loves Footscray.
Wow.
So only one Carlton supporter. We've got 3 brothers, or 2 brothers, yeah.
And what about your sister?
She's in the footy industry, works at Channel 9, but not really a huge fan of it, so I wouldn't say she's got a team at all.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Thanks for that, Matthew. Your best feature is Matthew.
Yeah, we've gone with that.
We have, we'll leave that one alone. It is the Tom Cruise look. I mean, you've got to suggestively say that.
Lloydie really loves the Tom Cruise.
Did I use that on a few Vegas footy trips for a while? A few times.
Excellent. Oh, beautiful. I've no more to say. Matthew, your favourite food is?
I love seafood.
Okay, good. You love doing nothing more then?
I actually, the weekend off, the buy a few weeks ago, just a bit of Asian, like Richo, went into a Chapel Street, a bit of Asian food, and then off to a movie. So just nice and relaxed.
What'd you go and see?
Nothing too much. Don't Breathe. Has anyone seen it?
Yeah.
How scary was it? Yeah, don't go on your own. It's one of the scariest movies you'll see.
Who's in it? No good.
That's good. Not bad. I like it.
Lloydie's getting better with age, I tell you.
And that wasn't too
Benjamin
subtle
Button.
either. That was beautiful. Well done. The happiest you have ever been was?
In terms of footy, obviously winning a premiership, but obviously the birth of your children.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Your favourite movie of all time, Matthew?
Favourite movie of all... I know we all say that
Shawshank Redemption.
but Don't Breathe. It wouldn't say it's going to win... Would you say, is it Oscars or?
Yeah.
But definitely worth seeing for people who haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll go along and check that one out. We do movie recommendations here as well.
And The
It's not
Green
just about
Mile as
football.
well was another one.
That's a
Green
great
Mile,
movie.
great movie.
Absolutely. One of the best memories you have is?
Best memories, I think being away with your teammates on footy trips were my greatest memories.
Yeah, lovely. When you were growing up, you wanted to be?
Same as Richo, footballer, but I always dreamed, I love my lollies, bit of a sweet tooth. How good would it be being a lolly tester? That's what I used to think. I heard there was a job that you could be a lolly tester, so I thought that'd be great. And because I love the movie Cocktail, I thought how good would it be being a barman on an island, like in Hamilton Island or something, nice, relaxed atmosphere.
That's another Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He's tying it in, Richo, wherever he can.
Obsessed with Tom Cruise.
I was obsessed with him until he jumped on that couch on the Oprah Winfrey interview.
Oh, idiot.
And he lost me that night.
No good. Gee, funny when you were saying lolly tester, I thought you would have gone Willy Wonka, but that's not bad, mate. I've always wanted to.
Play cricket for Australia.
Oh, that's right.
Fast bowl.
You're playing domestic at the
Yeah,
moment?
I do. Just play local cricket. Never would have been good enough, but that's always what I wanted to be.
Okay, good. And the most romantic thing you've ever done?
Well, I made Brian Lake sick 2 weeks ago with this story, Richo. But when I was proposing,
get ready, Richo.
I hope to only propose once. So I thought I got to do it well. Yeah. And I was moving into a new place in South Bank, and Lisa wasn't happy. She thought it'd be a bachelor pad, so she thought I'd be moving in there on my own. So to surprise her, I'd actually decked it out with furniture and ready to go. When she walked in, I said, I've just got to check something. A rose petal on every step. Up to the bedroom with the wedding ring inside some rose petals, Richo. So if Genevieve, Richo's girlfriend's watching, that's how he should be treated.
Jeez, I'm under the pump.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Are you feeling sick?
I am feeling sick.
I'm going to have to get along with it very quickly then. Matthew, your first kiss was?
It was just when I was 16 and we used to go to these sort of disco sort of things, and I was just, all my mates had been around the block a few times and I hadn't, so I just walked up to a girl and said, will you get on with me? And she didn't even say anything, but she just gave me the nod and away we went. So
How fantastic. Yeah. That's brilliant. Thank you, Matthew.
What about when you used to split up with a girl in high school, you get one of your mates to go and tell her?
That's right.
It's pretty ordinary, isn't it? You should have
Very
the guts to say it yourself.
Matthew Lloyd, the number one song on the day that you debuted was this. So you too, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me. Probably in the same vein.
That was from the Batman.
Yeah.
It was, July 1995. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for these two, please. Sandy out there on the floor, and we thought we might just take a couple of questions from the floor whilst we've got the opportunity, so we'll get them directed your way.
Have you had Jake King do this year?
No.
I was going to say, I reckon his first kiss he would have been about 7 or 8, Jake King.
Yeah, and got a tattoo to prove it too. Yeah. All right, Sandy, who you got, Darren?
I got Jack here.
G'day, Jack.
How you going?
Good.
My question's for Richo. So, Richo, would you endorse Mick Malloy for President of Richmond for 2017?
Well, he's been threatening to put a ticket together for a while, Mick. I do know one thing. Mick is a very, very passionate Richmond man. He wants the best for the club, but he's a smart man, Mick. I mean, we see all the funny side of Mick, but very smart man. So he'd have the clues to do it. He'd have the nous, but...
Would he like to be on the board or not? Or
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But he's a passionate man, and hey, well, he put his ticket together. He had me on it. He had Jake King. He had Helen Diamenco on it for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I was a bit curious about that one too. He also threw Toby Mitchell in there.
Yeah, Toby Mitchell on there. Toby's going to do the security for the board, so...
Yeah, very interesting.
No, I don't think he would do it, but he's a smart man, Mick, and he's a passionate Richmond man, as you know.
Yeah, very, very. Okay, Sam, somebody else?
Got Des here.
Ben?
Gentlemen, this is for the panel. Now that the year's over, a few players have retired. Can we now all agree that Pavlich is the greatest Matthew to ever play the game?
Oh.
Well, he'd have a strong case, Lloydie, wouldn't he? I mean, he's 6-time All-Australian. He was All-Australian in defence, midfield and forward. Yeah. He kicked 700 goals, but played a lot of footy out of the forward line, so... You probably wouldn't get a lot of arguments there. It's a debatable question.
It's not bad.
I'd have him third, I would have thought.
So the question remains first would be?
Richo man. Wingman forward.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. All right. And Sandy, what do you got?
Riley.
Hey,
Riley.
This is for the two of you. What's your most memorable goal in your careers?
Oh, gee. You kicked that many, it's hard to remember them all. But, memorable goal, gee. I don't know. I don't know. Lloydie probably kicked goals in big finals, which probably stick out in your memory. But yeah, it's hard to think of one, to be honest. Probably your first. You always remember your first goal. I remember against St Kilda. I was playing on Danny Frawley, who ended up being my coach, and I got a handball received off Jeff Hogg, who was our captain, and kicked a goal on the run. So probably not a way to kick your first goal. I didn't have to think about it too much.
Can I just interject there? The one goal that I remember from you, Richo, was that one that was disallowed because of the push in the back.
You know the story to that one. Push in the back. I thought he was paying the mark. I heard the whistle go. Thought he'd paid the mark. Played on, kicked the goal, put us about 4 or 5 points up with about a minute to go. Disallowed, 50-metre penalty. Goes down the other end, and who kicks the goal to win the game for Essendon? Lloydie did.
How's that?
I think that was my most memorable goal too.
I walked off the ground. I was annoyed.
I'm sorry to bring that one up because I knew there was a connection there. But Matthew, did you want to actually answer the question?
I think that, like Richo said, we're up by a long way, but kicking a goal late in the last quarter of a winning grand final was special. But I reckon my favourite one in terms of degree of difficulty was a day where Carey kicked 10 goals and I got 7 down the other end, but he kicked that amazing left foot banana and about 5 minutes later I did a sort of a volley out of mid-air from about 20 out, so that was probably my most memorable one.
What about the back heel, Lloyd? That one goal of the year, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I'm a bit embarrassed, Richo. I don't bring that one up because somehow I won a car for a back heel from the top of the goals when I think there was a freak goal by someone else that should have won it. So.
Which was like your first goal in AFL football too, wasn't it?
Off the ground, yeah.
Yep. Not bad. And it's really interesting because that was probably one of my favourite games of football, apart from the 89 grand final. That game with the Essendon and North Melbourne game was just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Put your hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen, please. That was great. Thank you very much, boys. We really do appreciate it. This is a footy panel show, so we're going to talk a little bit of football as well. We're going to go into the tips, and obviously there's only 2 games that we need to talk about because we're heading into the finals, aren't we? You know, awesome games of football last weekend, but we're here to discuss these ones. So we're going to go to Friday night, September 16 at the MCG. Cracker game. It's going to be Hawthorn versus the Western Bulldogs. Let's hear Hawks.
We're a happy team at Hawthorn.
And not a lot of love there in the room for that one. What about the Bulldogs? That's a bit better. Like that. All right, that'll do. Thank you very much, Sam. Boys, is this going to be one of the games of the round? I mean, there's only 2 games going on. Yeah. I get that, but you've got to be serious. Hawthorn coming up against the Western Bulldogs. Yeah. I thought that game on Thursday night was absolutely brilliant. I thought the Bulldogs were fantastic against the Eagles.
Yeah, it was. I was over there in Perth for it, and I just couldn't believe it. The Dogs' pressure was absolutely unbelievable. And you just kept thinking, they can't keep this up. There's got to be a few moments here where they're going to slacken off, but they didn't. It was 100 minutes of game time, 100% of game time. They just were relentless in their pressure. And in the end, the Eagles just couldn't do anything because the pressure was there. We saw Jack Darling sort of flinch when he was going back for a mark, but that was a result of nearly the whole game just expecting contact to be there the whole time, Lloydie. It was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I'm really torn on this one. Both finals, actually. I'm not confident on any tip I select, and just you're always nervous tipping against Hawthorn, and you'd be shocked if they went out in straight sets, but I just believe that if the Bulldogs can bring what they brought on Thursday night, they can beat them on the inside where Hawthorn aren't that strong, and then be too quick on the outside. But scoring has been an issue. They got
100 points last week,
which is the reason I'm just going to favour the Bulldogs in a close one.
Hey, Lloydie, do you think on the MCG, that pressure at Perth, the Perth ground, for those who haven't been there, is a bit narrower, so you can pressure up and it's harder to get through, but on the MCG, the Hawks might find a way through, but I think I'm with Lloydie. I think the Dogs can do it.
Wow. Football's a very different game to watch when you're at the game or watching it on TV. Matthew, you were there. What was it like, the intense pressure? I know that what you just suggestively said was that, they were, but the game, to watch it on TV, was intense.
It was hard to remember a West Coast player getting the ball in space and having time to deliver it by hand or foot. They were just in their face the whole time. Yeah. And I can't remember a player getting it and having time and space to make a decision. Everything was rushed and they were forced into errors because of it. But yeah, it's hard to remember a game. I remember a Sydney Freo final over there. That was it last year. The first half of Freo's pressure, but it wasn't for the whole game like this.
Might have been the prelim a couple of years ago.
That's right. Yeah.
But just on the Western Bulldogs, they went in with a plan. They went into, obviously, with that pressure, but also the speed of ball movement, and it stopped Jeremy McGovern and all these guys sitting back behind the play. So you just wonder if they can do that, to Hawthorn, where Gibson and all these guys, Hodge, love the game to be played on their terms, and the Bulldogs can take that away, which won't be easy. No. I think they can win. So it's a tough one.
Yeah. We're really looking forward to it. Let's go straight to the Saturday game then. This is at the SCG, September 17. It's Sydney versus Adelaide. Let's hear Sydney song.
Cheer, cheer the red and the white.
And that'll do with that. And we go straight to Adelaide.
We're the pride of South Australia.
Thank you very much. Boys, there's no reason that I need to be saying anything tonight because we've got 2 individuals like yourself that know so much about football, have played so much football, all the accolades, all the testaments that you've been attributed over the years. I really only want to hear what you guys have got to say about these games. So, Sydney versus Adelaide at the SCG, what are your thoughts there?
Well, Lloydie, I think the Crows have won 11 out of 18 games there. They've actually got the best record of any team travelling to Sydney out of all the rest of the comps. So they're a big chance, the Crows. The problem for Sydney, the last 3 finals they've played, the 2 last year and this year, they've only scored 7 goals in each of them. They're going to need to score a lot more than 7 goals against the Crows because they're the number 1 attack in the comp.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The ball movement. Brodie Smith came back in on the weekend and suddenly he's just electric off half back. And when they get ball movement, fast ball movement, they've got the best forward line in the game by a long way. They've been the number 1 scoring team all year. And so if you can slow that down, which I think the Sydney Swans are very, very good at doing, I think at the SCG, I think we get fall in sometimes when North were that bad on the week. Oh, sorry, they're not that bad, but they're by far and away the number 8 side in the competition.
Yeah.
So it made Adelaide look really good.
Yeah.
Yet we look down on the Sydney Swans, but they come up against the Giants team who's probably nearly the best in it at the moment.
Oh, my
so
God,
I'm going to favour, even though Tippett and Callum Mills are out, I'm going to still favour the Sydney Swans. Because they came up against a pretty good opposition.
You'd expect Buddy will come out and kick a few this week. Didn't kick a goal. First time ever in a final. He hasn't kicked a goal. So, yeah, Buddy's probably going to have a good one. But you're right, it's just so hard to tip against the Swans at the SCG. But that can go either way. Really, if the Crows win, it wouldn't surprise me. But I'll probably stick with the Swans at home.
Okay. Do you think Callum Mills is going to be a big loss?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I mean, rising star.
He's been outstanding across half-back all year. Tom Harley, we spoke to a few weeks ago at Channel 7, and he said that when they're sending a message out to the Swans backline, through the runner normally goes to Callum Mills, which I thought, geez, how good's that? A first-year player, and he's mature, and they trust him to get the message around the whole group. So says a lot about him, I reckon. That.
Sure. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, only 2 games this weekend. You've just heard the tips from the boys. That's what they reckon. Wouldn't be game enough to go against them.
Raise the hands here. Who thinks that the Dogs? Hawks. She's I think that's people just wanting the Dogs, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's more about wanting and willing over the line. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's that segment. That's the tipping. That's what the boys think. Put your hands together for them, please. Thank you very much. Straight into our next segment. This is called What's Going On.
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on.
This is, I'm combining 2 segments here. We're going to do a little bit of what's going on and then we're going to do what can I say. But I'm just going to go through it with the boys because there's some questions that I think need to be answered and I couldn't think of 2 better gentlemen to do it. I would like to know your thoughts on where these players might end up. And I'm going to talk about Mitchell from Sydney.
I think Hawthorn.
Yeah, I think 100% Hawthorn.
Okay, all right. Travis Cloak?
Well, I think the Dogs are a good fit for him while Redpath's out injured.
Okay.
He'll just play the role, hit up, lead. And what he is good at, Cloak, he is someone who will lead at the ball carrier. And that's what Redpath did, just led straight up the middle of the ground. So they might get at least 12 months out of him doing that. And I think it'll be good for Travis. I think clearly there's a disconnect between him and Bucks, which just seems obvious. So I think the Dogs.
I know you've got a different opinion on this one, Matthew, so I'd be interested to think what you...
Yeah, I'm not sure he's the best fit for them, but I think he will play there because that's where he wants to play. And they'll try and make it happen. But I just think, I just wonder, Port Adelaide are probably searching for a forward, but I'm sure he will end up at the Dogs, Richo. But I just think with Stuart Cramry coming back, Tom Boyd, and then I'm just not sure Boyd, unless he's in the ruck. It's Clokey and Boyd. I'm not sure they're the...
Well, that's a forward-line combination.
I'm not sure about them. They're both not great at ground level. They haven't got great agility. So might slow them. I'd rather see Boomer Harvey in the forward line at the Dogs because it allows Dalhouse and these guys to play up the ground.
Yeah, wow. I'm getting to that, so that'll be good. Chris Main?
Done deal, isn't it, Richard?
Yeah.
Where's he going?
4 years at Collingwood. 500 a year.
Yeah.
You serious?
Serious.
Jeez, I wouldn't be paying that much
No.
for him. No, look, I think Chris Main, one thing he will do, he has a massive crack. He's got great pressure as a forward, but he doesn't kick enough goals for me. Like, if you're going to play 500 grand to a forward, he's got to kick 45, 50 goals a year, and I don't think Chris has ever done that, has he?
North thought they had him, and then Collingwood have come over the top and offered 4 years at 500.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
No. Okay. Brent Harvey, interesting one. Will he play on?
Brent Harvey.
Would that be your first one?
Well, he seems, all the language coming from him is that he's thought he had heaps of footy left. So that would tell me he's going to put his hand up. And I reckon there'd be a number of clubs that would take him on.
What do you think he'd be best suited?
You think the Dogs?
It has to be a top end side, otherwise it'd be sad seeing him play and not make the final. So it has to be a team at the top end, I would have thought. So,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Quickly moving along, Del Santo?
Yeah.
I'm hearing he won't play, Richo.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he wants to be a 3-club player. I heard that he didn't like the sound of that, playing for 3 clubs. And, you know, he's played 310 games. Sometimes I reckon you're better to wind it up, even if you think you've got a little bit left, because it can hit you really quickly. It can hit you really quickly. All of a sudden, you think you're playing well, and within a space of 5 or 6 weeks, when you get into your mid-30s, it can be gone. So I reckon smart move if he didn't.
All right. Drew Petrie.
Oh, well, I was on radio tonight, and Sam McClure, Scoop McClure, who gets some pretty good mail, he reckons the West Coast talk's nonsense. There's no way known he'll go to West Coast, so I don't think he'll play. And Drew's been a great player, Lloydie, but his form was suggesting that it was past him a little bit.
Yeah, even if a club come for him, I'd be saying if I was Drew, no. Leave. You're best to leave a year early than a year too late. Yeah, good. So I think that his time is up.
Yeah, good point, mate. And last two, Daniel Wells from North Melbourne. A lot of talk going on about him at the moment.
Yeah, again, I think some say he's not happy with the way the North players were treated, and that there's been an offer on the table from North, but he's thinking maybe it's best to move on. So another one who quite possibly could end up at Collingwood.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Matthew.
No, don't want him?
No. Don't want him? No. I think Collingwood...
Yeah, averaged 10 games a year for the last 3 years.
Yeah. His body's an issue, you're right. Yeah. But he's got run and carry, which I think Collingwood need on the outside.
Yeah, okay. And the last one, boys, Deledio.
Yeah, I'm starting to think he's might be on the move, Brett. Yeah. I would hate to see him leave. I'm biased. I'm a Richmond supporter and I'm a mate of his, but he's got a year to go, but... You know, I'm not hearing the club coming out and saying that he's definitely staying. And with all the speculation, you'd think they'd knock that on the head. So maybe Lids will think, you know, Richmond probably won't play finals next year. He might think, gee, if the club aren't desperate to keep me, I might look to play somewhere I can play some finals.
Really interesting,
Half-back flank, Geelong are crying out for one, so he'd be a nice fit there.
Been a lot of whispers about that. Yeah, beauty. All right, boys, let's move along really quickly. Will Jobe Watson stay in football, and if so, will he sign again with the Bombers?
I've got no idea, Lloydie. It'd be better to answer that. But, gee, after what Jobe went through with, you know, being the face of that whole saga, it must have... We heard how stressful it was for Michael Hurley. Imagine how stressful it was for Jobe. He might decide that he's enjoyed his time overseas and move on, but I'll let Lloydie answer that.
He hasn't committed yet, so I'd only be guessing, but just the signs that David Butterford, the ex-Collingwood fitness coach who is training the boys, Jobe was ringing him 3 times a week from overseas for his program. He flew in from LA and he landed at 6:30 in the morning. He was on the training track at 9 o'clock, training straight off the plane. Wow. So just all those things he's doing.
That's great.
And the nick he's kept himself in and all those suggests that he feels he's... that everyone feels he's going to come back and play.
That'd be awesome.
So
bloody
excellent. News,
Excellent, excellent. And I might just give you a little bit of time. This isn't actually on the run sheet, but I just want to ask you, one of your best mates, Angus Monfries, how's things with him, mate?
He wants to play again, but Port Adelaide have said they're going to wait and see. Like at Essendon, everyone who wanted to play got given another season. But at Port Adelaide, it's not the case for him.
Yeah, right.
So I'm hoping that they do the right thing by him as well. So he's not sure whether they'll give him nothing, put him on a rookie list, or put him on the main list. So fingers crossed he gets another chance.
The great thing in the last 24 hours when the bans ended for these guys, you just see how much they love footy. And they just want to get how much they've missed.
Isn't it beautiful?
The photo that Paddy Ryder put up on his social media at 1 minute past midnight, pitch black with the Port Adelaide sign. Like I thought, these guys are desperate to get out and play footy again. It's great.
Yeah, excellent. And whilst we're on that subject, Stuart Crameri, do you reckon he's a chance of playing for the Bulldogs in the final series if they get progress?
I don't think so, because you just can't take a player who hasn't played a game all year into a big final.
Yeah. Imagine that. Come in for the grand final.
It'd be all right, wouldn't it?
I don't think it'll happen.
Dermot Brereton debuted in a final and kicked 5 goals.
That's right, in the final,
but times have changed a bit.
Unbelievable. Guys, sorry, there are a few questions in here and I'm trying to get through them as quickly as possible, but what are your thoughts on Gary Ablett as an investment? He's only played, ironically enough, 29 games in 3 years.
Before that, he'd been pretty good, though. For him. And I think before he did his shoulder, they were just rocketing towards the finals, weren't they? So I think that you could look at the Giants compared to the Suns, and apart from Ablett, they got all their recruits wrong. It was Jared Brennan, Campbell Brown,
Nathan
Bock, Josh Fraser. So they just got them all wrong. Whereas you look at the players that the Giants have brought in have been magnificent. So, he's been good for them, you would say, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good, sir.
The whole building of a brand up there and getting publicity, I mean, I couldn't bag Gary Ablett. And, I mean, he's just been stiff. He's had that crook shoulder and that's what happens. Injuries happen in
Won a
footy.
Brownlow up there too, didn't he?
Exactly.
So,
Yes, he did. Yeah. Will Matthew Boyd get an offer at the Bulldogs?
I think he will. I think they'll give him
All-Australian?
another year, surely.
Yep, you'd think so?
What I found interesting was that they said his form had dropped off.
Yep.
Yet
In the early
guys
stages.
had him good enough for all Australians. So
Yeah.
she's hard on him.
They've got some good half backs though, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, if Bob Murphy comes back in, Johannesson, maybe
Easton Wood.
Easton Wood, maybe they're bigs, maybe they're thinking, geez, we can't actually fit him in.
Yeah, interesting. Is the jury still out on the bye round after round 23?
Look, I'd rather just keep going.
Yeah.
I know. Look, it was good. You had the women's game and the EJ Witten game, so there was still stuff happening, but I'd prefer just to keep rolling into it.
EJ Witten's game?
Made an absolute fool of myself, didn't I?
Yeah, Richo told me not to bring that one up.
What about his clutch goal at the end, though? It was massive.
You know what? I'll tell you what, because everyone watching was just waiting for me to kick it out in the full, let's be honest. That's what everyone wanted.
Nah.
And I was lining up.
Were you nervous?
I was very nervous, Lloydie. More nervous than any shot at goal I've ever had. And all the Vic boys were standing in line, and our boys were the other side. And as I leant over and was about to start walking in, I heard one of the Vic guys go, "Richo, you're a choker." And I just thought to myself, I'm not missing this goal. There's no way known I'm missing it.
Another chance in hell.
Wayne Carey was flat,
The
wasn't he?
duck's still flat.
Yeah,
In
still
fact, he's like a big pancake at the moment, just walking around, because his ego didn't like that today.
Not at all, I could imagine.
Nearly didn't make the distance either, Duck.
Who was your Brownlow tip?
Oh, it's a certainty, isn't it?
Yeah, Danger?
Danger.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance anyone else can win. I'd get on Dusty Martin for a place maybe, but I think Danger will win by 10 votes.
Has there ever been in the history of the game been a player that's taken their club from outside of the 8 to being a top 2 side? I can't look at Adam Treloar will win Collingwood's best and fairest most likely this year, and their position hasn't changed as good as he's been. Whereas Dangerfield, because I reckon Blixarves hasn't been as good, Duncan, Motlop, so he's just catapulted them, this bloke.
And he's just so good for the game. The way he presents himself
Isn't
in the media, he's an absolute star.
How good's his
Paddy.
commercial?
Oh, yeah. But
Surfing in the suit.
suit, yeah. But not just that, you're right. We had him on the show when we did the Geelong show with Jimmy Bartell playing in his 300. And what a consummate professional.
He's just a
speaks
star.
highly of everybody and presents himself
When
so
he
well.
finishes footy, and he'll have a career doing whatever he wants in the media, he's got a great personality.
Absolutely. Which team has been your surprise packet, both good and bad?
Oh, probably. Well, I think that not a surprise because I thought they'd play finals, but I think the Giants can win it now, and I think that's surprised me how good they've got so quickly.
And bad, you'd say probably what, Fremantle?
Yeah, I think Freo and Richmond are the two disappointments of the year.
And Port Adelaide frustrate me. And the other one for improvement, to think Adelaide could lose Dangerfield, and they brought in 3 players, Hampton, Troy Menzel and a guy Gore, which was a trade for Dangerfield. Not one of them played one game. So their coach, obviously, Phil Walsh, the tragedy there, but for them to get to where they have, it's been a great effort.
Absolutely, well said. Who's your finals tip? Which 2 teams? And who's going to win the flag? We'll wrap those 2 questions into one.
Oh, I think the Giants will play the Cats in the grand final.
Oh, wow. And the winner of that, Matthew?
I think the Giants might win the grand final.
Wow.
I've jumped on.
Yeah.
I've jumped on.
Okay, good on you. Yeah.
I'm on them too, and I'll go Giants Geelong, but I think maybe Geelong on grand final day at the MCG might be able to get them. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Out of all the coaches, whose head's on the chopping block for next year?
At the end of next year.
Yeah.
Well, if Richmond had a shocking first half of the year, I don't like saying it, but obviously there'll be pressure there. Yeah. I hope they don't, because I really like Dimmer and the players do as well. So hopefully it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, I think along with Hardwick, I think Buckley would be, and I think it's interesting times. I'm fascinated with Brad Scott at North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Just what happens there. with him.
And that'll lead me into the last question for that, which is who's going to coach Brisbane in 2017?
Oh, gee.
Don't rule it out.
Don't rule it out.
Don't rule it out.
You're big on
I'm
this,
big on
aren't you?
this.
Yeah.
Nah.
No, right. I don't think Rats will do it.
No.
Chris Fagan, I think it is.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he wants. I don't think he wants it though, from what I've heard.
Wow. All right. We're going to go straight into what can I say? All right, here we go, boys. Will Etihad remain as a stadium moving forward?
Etihad? Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah? You don't think there'll be any plans to demolish it down the track? And
No, I think they might. I think it's about time they might have to spend a bit of dough on it. It's starting to get a little bit tired, but no, I
It'll
think
be there,
it's still
Matthew.
there.
I'd agree with that.
All right. A night grand final is?
I think it's coming.
Okay. Matthew?
I'm a traditionalist, so I don't like change, but gee, it would look good at night, wouldn't it? The
Or at
pre-match
twilight,
and
I suppose,
everything.
Yeah, okay.
The twilight one appeals to me more.
Yeah. Being an AFL footballer is?
Tough.
Tough?
But once you retire, you look back and say, how lucky was I?
Wow.
You know,
And
so
feel the same?
It is tough. I would say it's a privilege. Gee, you don't get to hang around with 45 of your mates all day having at the most of the time you're having a bit of fun at training and bonding. So it's a pretty good job. And when you finish, you realise how much you miss it.
I didn't enjoy it though, so that's
really?
why I say tough. I didn't enjoy it because it was more. You're
always stressed.
You're
and
always
stuff.
on edge with your body, your performance,
Your diet, your
scrutinised
screen.
diet.
Yeah.
So
You enjoyed those 6 trips to Vegas.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
And don't forget,
right.
Richo, he was actually asked again recently, but it was...
She said to me, "When are you going to realise you're not a player anymore?" So, so I have to settle for 2 nights in Queensland these days.
All right. A couple of last ones, boys. Good Friday football is?
I think it's happening. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't. I'm a traditionalist again. I prefer it wasn't coming
Okay.
in, but I think it's in for next year.
All right. Your favourite football caller is or was, and I'll give you a couple of names: Lou Richards, Mike Williamson, Peter Landy, Dennis Cometti, Ian Roberts, Hunt, McAvaney, or Taylor.
Ooh, I love working with BT because I've worked with him since I first started on 3RW. Now he's at Triple M, but so I've worked with him for 7 years. He's good fun to call with.
Okay.
But as a kid growing up, I've always loved Cometti.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I love working with Tim Lane on 3RW. I think he's a true
pro, isn't he?
one of the great callers. Been doing it for how many years?
Tim
He's doing
called.
ABC.
Tim called the 1921 grand final.
So
He's been calling for a while.
yeah, I really enjoy Anthony Hudson's call. I think
Okay.
he's a good caller. But because I see so much footy and people have criticised BT and Richo and these guys, but I must admit I enjoy sitting back and watching these guys entertain. You know,
Yeah, right.
Whereas
That's
I
good.
think some people get frustrated because they just want to hear their team spoken about on a serious note.
Yep.
But for me, who's the neutral, I enjoy what they have to do on Saturday nights. Yeah.
Excellent. Last couple of questions, and we'll wrap this one up. An AFL coach's job is?
Oh, it's all encompassing. It's they don't get. I don't think they sleep, coaches. They must go home and just lie in bed at night staring at the roof.
Yeah.
It's a very, very scrutinised job, and they cop it all. If you're not winning, the coach just cops it. So it's a tough job.
That's as Richo said. There's only 18 of them,
Yeah.
and obviously you've probably got 1 year of a honeymoon period, and then it's on. You need results, so
Wow.
it's very, very challenging.
2 last questions, boys. The deliberate rush behind rule is, in one word answer?
It's a bit inconsistent, I think.
Okay,
Exactly what I was going to say.
good. And the deliberate out of bounds rule is?
I think the umpires don't have a great feel at times for what's just a mucked up kick and what is deliberate. So I think it's a tough job to umpire, but I just think they often sometimes throw one in that shouldn't be deliberate, where they just was pressure, or that's what I think where they get it wrong. I think it's a good rule.
Yeah, I agree with Lloydie. It's a good rule, but sometimes they don't have a great feel for it.
Yeah, right. Ladies and gentlemen, what a privilege having these two here. Seriously, you won't get this on Talking Footy, and you don't get it on any of the other game days. So it was really nice. Thanks, boys. Really appreciate it. segment, right, is called Playing to Win. All right, the way that this works, boys, is the lovely Sandy over here. Everyone put your hands together for Sandy. She's got a wheel here, and what she's going to do, boys, is she's going to spin the wheel, and whatever category comes up, you boys are going to have 10 questions from that category. I'm then going to ask you those questions, and we'll see how many you get right. These two down the front, Alyssa and Nicholas, are going to keep score, and we'll see how we go. So, Sand, let's go with it. And who would like to go first? Lloydie would. Oh, wow. Right, thanks for volunteering, Lloydie. Yeah, okay. It's exciting, isn't it? What's he got, hon?
Sports people.
Sports people.
Lucky.
All right. Well, let's see what we can do with
Richo
sports
knows
people.
everything. Music, movies.
Is it famous sports people? Is that what we're talking
just
about?
sports people.
All right. Let's see how we go then. The way that this one works, Matthew, I'm going to actually give you the person's name, and I just want you to tell me what chosen sport they're from. Okay? The first person, Wayne Gretzky.
Hockey.
What sort of hockey?
Ice hockey.
That'll do.
sorry.
Good. Rory McIlroy.
Golf.
Yes, correct. Ian Botham.
Cricket.
Correct.
Oh, geez, how easy do you want to make it?
Can't make him too hard. Martina Navratilova.
Tennis.
Correct. Nadia Comaneci.
Gymnastics.
Well done,
Not
Lloyd.
bad. Well done. Peyton Manning.
Oh, this is a joke.
Gridiron.
Gridiron. Yeah, all right. NFL. Wally Lewis.
Rugby. League.
League. Yes, good. Eddie Charlton.
Snooker.
Or billiards, yeah. All right. LeBron James.
Basketball. NBA.
And this one's really hard. Usain Bolt.
100 metre. 200.
400. Athletics.
Relays.
All right. There you go. What did he get? Did he get 10? No way. Oh,
That
wow.
was too easy for
All right.
Hey, can I confess?
Yeah.
There was a couple I was going to struggle, but the barman at the end was giving me the answers.
Okay,
Oh, not bad. Oh, look at Richo's dirty. Oh, mate.
we're spinning
I'm
again.
happy to give Richo.
Not acceptable.
No, we're spinning again.
Wow.
I was I'm happy to-
I'm going home.
Oh, there's a process. There's a process.
I'm
There's-
going home.
Hey, no, I reckon. The other barman should be able to help Richo.
Oh,
for
wow.
one or two.
Oh,
That's
dear.
not
Got the other
Oh,
barman.
this is shocking.
Lloydie, I don't need help.
Oh, dear. Here we go. All right. Oh, geez, the barman's gone.
in trouble,
All
mate.
right. Let's go, Sandy. Let's give Richo his chance of fame and glory.
You're in trouble.
Give it a go.
Come on, a hard one, please. Please. Capitals and countries, Richo.
don't worry.
Capitals and
Don't
countries.
mind this.
I don't mind that
I'm
either.
pretty good at geography.
Capitals and countries.
You any good at geography? No, shaking his head.
All
This
right.
is a stitch up.
Here we go, Matty. You ready,
Righto.
mate? Here we go.
Yep.
Your first one, basically, name the capital of this country.
Righto.
All right. Your first one, China.
China be Beijing.
Correct. Italy.
Rome.
Correct. India.
India. Oh, gee. Delhi.
Yes. New Delhi. Delhi.
Delhi.
Probably been there for a while now, so it's not so new.
New Delhi.
Ireland.
Dublin.
Oh, very good. Netherlands.
The Netherlands would be Amsterdam.
Correct. Russia.
Moscow.
Correct. Egypt.
Cairo.
Correct. Greece.
Athens.
Oh, man, it's getting exciting. Japan.
That'd be Tokyo.
Oh, it would, and we're going for number 10 here. This is
Tiebreaker.
Spain.
That's Madrid.
Oh! With no help! With no help. Well done. All right. Well done, Richard.
So we got a tiebreaker?
Yeah, here we go. This is the tiebreaker. All right?
For me or for both of us?
No, it's going to be for both of you. It's just going to be the first one. You can't scream out Matthew because you have to say Lloydie or Richo. All right? So the first one in with their name. Oh, this is a doozy.
What sort of topic is it?
It's going to be Coleman medalists.
Oh, gee.
All right? I would like you to tell me who was the Coleman medalist in 2008.
Lloydie.
Oh,
Yes?
Lance Franklin.
Correct. a nice little segment. We call this segment I Did It My Way.
Oh no, not me.
Yep. It's called I Did It My Way. You guys are going to be playing for a slab. Who's interested in that? We're going to slab a Kelton draft here, and we've also got $400 worth of vouchers to the person that wins. Most people would suggest you need this before you do this segment. You're going to be doing it after, all right? So what we need to do is you 4, 5 likely contestants are all going to be singing your club song, all right?
Oh, how I love to be with St Kilda when the Saints go marching in. Go marching in!
To win the premiership flag. Our boys who play this great old game.
Like the Tiger of old, we're strong and we're bold. Oh, we're from Tiger, yellow and black.
Side by side, let's stick together with a ball on the bagpipes name.
Oh, blimey.
See the barricades are shouting as all barricades shine. All the premierships a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
Oh!
Yeah, boys!
Hot boys! All right.
Yeah,
You've won!
Well done, brother.
And you, how old are you, Riley?
Hang on, we need to see some ID before you get
Yeah,
those beers.
he's just told me he's 18, so that's all right.
ID.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say we've got a fantastic sponsor that's been on board with us this year. They're a company called the Big Picture People. You'll find that in your booklets. They have given us the opportunity to give away an $11,000 home theatre surround sound package with a giant 3-metre screen. All you've got to do is go to the Big Picture website to enter your details. It's pretty simple. If you're playing along at home, this is how you do it. Yes, thanks to the Big Picture People, we have the chance to win a home cinema sports pack valued at over $11,000. You can enjoy big sports, movies, concerts and even video games on a big 3-metre screen with thunderous surround sound. This home cinema pack is courtesy of the Big Picture People. To enter, simply log on to bigpicturepeople.com.au/good-for-footy. Terms and conditions are on the page. Good luck to everyone, and thanks to the Big Picture People, the experts in home cinema. Upcoming shows on September the 21st. It's a sold-out show, but I do want to mention it. It's the Bad Boys of Footy, because we've had the Nice Boys of Footy on tonight, but we got the Bad Boys of Footy on next week. It's with Dane Swan and Dustin Martin right here. Okay.
They'll be hanging out the door for those two.
Yeah, they actually...
That'll be a big crowd.
Looking forward to it. September the 28th, it's the Footy Fanatics Grand Final show. We can announce who's on that because we're doing the funny men of football. And this gentleman right to the left of me actually came up with the idea because he was thinking whilst we were down in Tasmania, you should do a show with Brian Lake. We are. We're going to do a show with Brian Lake and Adam Cooney. Two really good mates, so that should be pretty funny. So that'll be happening on September the 28th, which is obviously also a Wednesday night. And then on September the 30th, we're going to be doing our grand final show from here again. So if you're not doing anything on that Friday, get along here to the Caulfield RSL, 4 St George's Road in Nelsonwick. The September finals are all going to be held out of the Caulfield RSL. If you want to come along, get onto the website, www.that'sgoodforfooty.com.au/register. It's pretty simple. All you've got to do is then check your email address and it'll be there. We finish up on September the 29th with C31. We won't be doing the shows anymore, unfortunately. I know, it's pretty sad. The boys, even before, were saying how sad it is. Yeah, but we're going to be continuing to do the live shows, and people ask us a lot of questions. Damien, do you do the shows in regional areas or interstate and so forth? And yeah, we do. Obviously, we went down to Tassie with Matthew Lloyd the other week. We're also going to be doing the That's Good for Footy shows, that's good for sport shows, that's good for cricket shows, that's good for rugby, and that's good for soccer. So we do them all, and if you want to ever get along to them, all you've got to do is get onto our website, BrokerrocheR.com.au, and you can find it all there. It's all there, and maybe then we can bring this sort of stuff to you. It's pretty simple. If you want to come along to the shows, you just have to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or the website. Thanks to Christy, thanks to Andrew, thanks to Sam, thanks to Joe, thanks to Sandy who's doing Vox Pop down the back, thanks to Mick and Alan. Great to have you guys along tonight. Now can you put your hands together for these two champions, Matthew Lloyd, Matthew Richardson.
Thank you.
I feel completely privileged to not only sitting at the same table with them, but to have the insight that you boys have and what you've been able to give this wonderful crowd here tonight has been nothing short of fantastic.
Thanks, Damien.
So I really, really honestly appreciate it. I thank you very much for it. good calling and enjoy your final series. I hope that everything goes well in that respect. It's pretty simple. Last segment for the night. I just want to say to all of you, thanks for coming along tonight. Thanks for attending the show. We hope you've had a good time, have you? Yeah! Oh, wow. That's a resounding yes. Thank you very much. We've only got one more segment. I just want to say thank you. My name is Damien. Good night. Cheers.
We're here at the Caulfield RSL, and it's September. And that can only mean one thing. It's finals time. And who better than to talk finals is Matthew Lloyd and Matthew Richardson. And what a night it has been. And now I'm just going to ask people what they thought of the show. Richo, welcome back to our show. And do you think we were going to let a season go by without having Richo? No.
It's always good to be back. It's great fun. And the thing I like about this show is it's very interactive. The audience get to join in with the panellists, and it's just a great time.
Back, we only had you on 2 weeks and we were in Tasmania.
I know, in Tassie 1 week, Caulfield the next, so they're always great fun. And as Richo just said, the interaction between us and the fans, it's something that they rarely get, so it's been a brilliant night.
Have you ever been to a show like this before? How would you sum it up in one word?
I would sum it up as perfect. Phenomenal.
Absolutely magnificent. It's absolutely amazing.
Absolutely awesome. Just like the real footy. It's good on TV, even better when you go live.
What do you think of Lloyd and Richo tonight?
Oh, they're really down to earth and they're amazing people. And since you get such a nice interaction with this show, it's like you're friends with them pretty much. It's great.
Oh, how gorgeous is Richo. I'm not a Richmond supporter, but that face, that smile, you just want to hug him. Oh, they're just great players, great personalities, great people.
Absolutely great. Yeah, they're fantastic.
They're top blokes. They really look like nice down-to-earth blokes. So
Gorgeous. Love him.
Well, I've always loved Richo. He's fair dinkum, honest, and great. Lloydie, he was a bit of a surprise. He's a bit funnier than I thought.
How nice is it to be on this side of the microphone?
It's a bit easier just answering questions than asking them, and you know that, Sandy. It is very hard at times, but yeah, it's great to be here.
How would you describe it to a friend if they wanted to come?
Come, ignore all the other football shows.
Oh, just really interactive, and you get to meet the guys, take some photos, ask them some questions and stuff. I'll just buy them a ticket straight away because you're going to have a great experience no matter what you do.
Is this a show you'd come to again?
Yes, I would definitely come again. Absolutely. I've come again and again and again.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. I've been to a few of them already and coming back next week, I believe. Definitely, I've been here, plenty of times, and I'm definitely going to be here. I'm actually here next week, so it'll be awesome.
You've been watching That's Good for Footy. You've been watching That's Good for Footy.
And we'll see you next year. How'd that go?
So there you have it. They've had their say, and now I'm going to have mine. This has been That's Good for Footy panel shows. My name is Sandy. Thank you, and good night.
Want more information about the shows? Then log on to the That's Good for Footy website at www.that'sgoodforfooty.com.au. Here you'll find venue dates and lineup, photo gallery, register to win section, competitions, ticket sales and heaps more.